Hello, everyone. I would like to thank you all for joining us for the Accounting 202 Getting Started webinar. My name is Jacob Varney, Instructional Designer for IvyOnline and Project Manager for the most recent development of Accounting 202 for IvyOnline. Accounting 202 just recently underwent a major redevelopment to bring it into IvyOnline so we could deliver essentially starting summer 2021. We will be using this time to take a quick look at the new course and how you can get started. Joining me today are Dave Hill from McGraw-Hill, who will be demonstrating how you'll go about preparing Connect for the semester and answer any questions about that. And then we also have John Lynch, the course mentor and course developer, who will walk you through the course and answer any questions that you might have about delivering the course, either during this session or afterwards. If there are any questions, feel free to post them in the chat or use the raise hand feature to let us know that you would like to ask a question. Next, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and pass things off to Dave. That way he can give you an explanation on how to set up Connect for your course.
Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. And let me get things switched over here. All right, very good. We're ready to go. The first thing is when you receive your IvyLearn shell for your course, it will contain a set of McGraw-Hill Connect assignment links that are inactive. And part of our pairing and syncing process, we will take care of making those links live and ready and available for your students. So just wanted to clarify that point first. So once you do log into your IvyLearn course, you'll be here on the home page. The first step to complete the pairing will be to click on McGraw-Hill Connect over here in your left-hand side menu. And it will bring you here to the McGraw-Hill Connect page, where you will then click Pair with a Connect section. When you do so, because on the back end, we've already provided you with a copy of the Master Connect course for Accounting 202. For that reason, when we come to this page, we're going to choose an existing Connect course because you do already have one within your own individual McGraw-Hill Connect account. So we're going to click the button here for existing Connect course. And it's going to bring you to the page that shows you all of the McGraw-Hill Connect courses that you have in your own Connect account at the present time. We have a large number of demo courses in our accounts, as you can see, but since we're talking about accounting, we don't have to scroll through very many, because here we will find the tile that is for the Accounting 202 Summer 2021 course. Yours will be named for your specific individual Ivy Tech course section number. So you'll see that as part of the tile here, or after you click on the Accounting 202 Summer 2021, you'll come to this window, and this is where you'll see Accounting 202 Summer 2021 and your individual section number here. And you'll select that button, and then you will click Save. And it will bring us to a page that tells us, hey, you're halfway done here. You've just paired your Connect course with your IvyLearn course. And all we have to do now is to complete the synchronization in order to activate those Connect assignment links on the IvyLearn side. So we'll do that by clicking Return to IvyLearn. And you can do so either from this link here or via the button over here on the far left-hand side of the page. So I'll click here. It'll bring us back to the McGraw-Hill Connect page. And this is where we will click on Sync with my Connect section. And you'll see that the page will spin for a moment, and it will locate the assignment links here. And we'll scroll down. Got to move our Zoom window here for a moment. We'll scroll down and we'll see that we don't see any error messages of any kind here, which is a good thing. We'll click Submit. And we'll scroll down and we're going to click OK. And we're basically done at that point in time. We just activated those assignment links on the Connect side. And if you wish to confirm that everything is all set up, you can click here on Go to My Connect section again. We'll land on the Connect section homepage. And if you open up a couple of your modules, you'll see the red canvas logo here, and that confirms everything is set up as it should be. And when the students complete their Connect assignments, their results will flow automatically over to the IvyLearn gradebook. One other thing you may want to consider at this point in time is reviewing the Connect assignment start and due dates. And if you need to make any adjustments to those, what you can do is you'll click the check boxes over to the right of the individual assignments. Once you have those checked, you can come up here to this icon that we refer to as a paper stack and hover over the drop down arrow. And one of the options that you see here is for managing the assignment start and due dates. So that's how you will do that. And that's basically what we do to complete the pairing and syncing, and you're all set and ready to go. Please reach out to Ted Krishak or I if you have any questions or need any help with this. We are more than happy to join you over Zoom and make sure you're all set up and ready to go. Anything else, Jacob?
Not in particular that I can think of. So thank you so much for your support here, Dave.
Oh, my pleasure. I'll stop sharing, and Jacob, I'll turn it back over to you, and take care.
You too. Thank you, Dave.
All right, you're welcome. Bye, John.
Bye.
All right, excellent. Well, generally, I thank the publisher before moving on to my next step, but Dave has already left, which is fine. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to John to just kind of give us a quick tour of Accounting 202. John, would you care to take it away for us?
Okay. Okay, where's the screen show? You got the share screen button all set? Yep, I'm gonna go to screen 2. That way I can share. All right. That should have worked.
Yep, I can see your screen.
There we go. So I'll be looking on this side though, because it's on my screen 2 instead of screen 1. Okay, so there's the home page. What I'll start with is probably the syllabi. And what you'll need to do is finish filling this out. Anything in purple, I think it is where that word color is, you have to fill out, which is your name, phone number, that type of thing. And your supervisors, I think if it's an adjunct, it's already filled out, if I remember the instructions right, for the supervisor, Kevin's name's in there. And if you're full-time, then you have some other things to fill out. You have to fill out the campus supervisor. I do remember that part. I just did it. So the required text is the second half of the Spiceland book, and they should have it already. And the access code would be the same as they had for Intermediate 1. So that should be all set up for them. And but this is, like I said, it's starting with the back half of the book. So you know, there's the grades. You'll have to make up your makeup policy. You have to put in yourself, unless you like what they have in there. But that can be whatever your makeup policy is, or withdrawals. Don't forget the due dates. Make sure they're correct. It's June 10th and July 17th is the last date of withdrawal. You want to double check, but that's the date. Should be in there already. And then there's the point distribution. There's going to be homework. There's 9 homeworks. There's 9 chapters, 7 modular quizzes, a final exam, and 3 discussion boards that they'll have. And then the grading percentages is 90, 80, 70, 60. And hopefully they won't be anything less than that. But so, okay. And then most of the homework, if they click on the modules, if it works, here it is. Just your instructor guides, and there's where the resources are. There's the module set up. And they have the overview, which is basically what we'll be covering that week, the learning activities that they have. And then you have the PowerPoints for that week, which is the chapters that they're covering. And then they click on the videos, that tab, there we go. These are the videos that are associated with that chapter, the topics of the chapter. And then what they need to do for the videos, however, if you look at the worksheet, they click on the down arrow, is what I always like doing, and then they'll come down here. And that way they can actually, there it works. They'll get the worksheet to go with the videos, and they can fill out the videos as they do the worksheet. This is, of course, the first one's on investments. And make sure when they do this, I have a lot of them complain that it doesn't work because they need to click on that enable editing. at the top. Because otherwise they start typing things in and they get emails that this worksheet doesn't work, it won't be doing anything, and it's because they didn't do that little simple click. And then make sure they also understand the tabs down here. They have to click on the tabs. I've had people do that too. I don't see that worksheet. And you click on the tabs at the bottom to get to the different videos of what they'll be covering. But they will fill in, as the video goes through, they will be filling in the blanks here. And that's what the videos is for. It's a hands-on type thing so they can see exactly what's required and how to do the problems in the chapter. And that's what that's for. And a lot of times I will also tell them they need to do the worksheets or something to do the problems, because Connect does not give them any space to work on. So they have to be able to work on the spaces, and do that they do the worksheet. And a lot of these worksheets that I have will actually work for the problems. They just have to change the numbers to make them work. So they won't tell them what's right or not until they actually put it in the worksheet. But that's the modules. Then we have, that's how the videos work or set up. Where'd it go? And then there's the discussion boards. If they have a discussion, it's separate. And then for the assignments, they click on the McGraw-Hill Connect assignments, and there's the assignments they have. Each week will be different. And they just simply click on that, and that'll take them to the Connect assignment that we just saw, that Dave has demonstrated. So, okay, that's the modules, and then they have one here, and then at the end here is the last week they'll do chapter 21 and the final exam. That one, so yeah, and then that finishes the course up for them. So that's how the modules work. Is there anything else that cover it?
Yeah, I might maybe touch a few things in the instructor resources, since we have that conveniently pulled up.
Okay.
So the first thing at the top, and one thing that I usually like to note during these webinars, is that Accounting 202 is an inclusive access course, meaning that students will already have access to their materials by virtue of just being enrolled in the course. One other thing that we do have to note is that we generally consider this protected content, meaning that we strictly advise against copying this content out, just because there's that risk of the copyright issues and the agreements that we have with our publishers to have these in the inclusive access program. In that first module, we also have the instructor guide. So John has put together the instructor guide and the Accounting 202 module announcements, just to kind of give you an overview of best practices in your course, as well as some of the most effective things to say to meet the policy requirement of sending out an announcement every week. There's also the report course issues link. Should you find any issues in the course, let us know, and then John and I will jump on those right away. The faculty evaluation of course design link you can use to let us know what you thought about the course in general, and then we can make improvements based on that as well. And then lastly, there's just a couple of other guides. The B&C bookshelf guide, if you're interested in using that to access the textbook. The McGraw-Hill Connect instructor guide, which in essence covers everything that Dave covered in this presentation, just in a written format. And then the live instruction assignment instructions, which is a new activity that was added for IvyOnline courses this semester. This just goes over everything that you need to do in order to set up and facilitate that sometime during the first 2 weeks of delivery. And I think that's it for what I wanted to cover here. Anything else on your end, John?
I did talk to Kevin. I am going to have a help session, tutoring session on Thursdays.
Thursdays.
201 and 202. It's going to be the same time at 7 o'clock.
PM?
PM, yes.
Okay, excellent. Let me make sure that I have that captured, and I can have this. I'm certain Kevin will probably send out something too, so I'll.
Yeah, it's on the work. It's on this tutoring spreadsheet that he's sending out to everybody.
Okay, and I'll leave that out so we don't, end up dating this this webinar.
Right.
Specific semester.
Right.
I guess we kind of already are. It's for summer 21. Anyway,
well,
yeah. Thank you for offering those.
I'll probably do it every year actually.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So.
Just putting the burden on us of finding someone to replace you that's willing to do these crazy things.
That's right.
All All right, excellent. Well, John, thank you for that overview of the course, and thank you everyone for joining us. If there are any questions that you might have after the presentation, I'll put our contact information all on the screen. Let me just go ahead and share my screen again really quick. Having a hard time finding my mouse. There we are. You can contact me at jvarney@ivytech.edu. You can contact John at jlynch@ivytech.edu, or you can contact Dave at dave.hill@mcgraw-education or mheducation.com. I can answer questions related to general questions about IvyOnline, but John's your go-to guy if you have questions about the course content proper, and then Dave's your guy if you have any issues with getting your course content set up. Thank you, John, for joining us today and giving us that overview, especially of the worksheets. I probably would have missed that. And thank you once again for all the work that you put in on this course.